have decided to try and tackle removing the overhead bins in the bus today. It's a fairly nice day and hopefully we will be successful. You think we'll be successful? Yeah, I hope so. Yeah, you've got those. Those will be very helpful. Just don't poke anyone's eye out.
I'm coming in.
Okay. Each of these bin units are actually connected to one another. On this side of the bus, we actually have TVs to remove as well. Hopefully, Aaron and I will have success working on this together. With any luck, at the end of the day, these bins will be stored in our little garage space outside, and we'll be able to move on to the bathroom tear down for our next video. No, don't go in there, baby, don't. That's gross. It's an old toilet. We still have to remove it, love.
There's a hammer in there.
Okay, well, I'll go in and take out whatever's in there. Your dad and I are going to work on these overhead bins today.
Come here and see what's in here.
Okay, I see. Okay. Oh, look, there's a hammer on the toilet. Let's not play with that right now. Where do you want to start, babe?
Well, I'm looking up top here. You doing something? This looks like a railing.
Yeah.
So it's on that side too. This thing might actually slide right out.
We have these nuts right here that we'll need to take off, but I don't know if that just takes off this lower plate or
probably.
if that's...
Something slides into there. I am thinking these are going to be a pain in the butt.
I say we just take a screwdriver and start unscrewing things.
And then to the hammer to get some boards off of something.
Well, I don't think we're going to need the hammer so much today. Today's going to be more of a screwdriver day, I think. But if we need the hammer, can I come and get you?
Mommy.
Yeah.
I'll hold a hammer for a long time.
Okay, if you're going to hold it, just don't swing it, okay?
There you go.
You bear a hammer holder. It's worth it to me to destroy some of this just to figure out how it works. We're not going to be reusing each of these, so even if we have to destroy some of them to figure out how it works, it's definitely worth it to me to do that. Do you want me to start back over here and I can just start tearing things apart by the toilet?
Well,
That way we're not in the same
Do you
area.
want to just tear it apart, or do you want to actually try to get it out?
I feel like I looked at these the other day and I totally couldn't figure out how to put them up, so I would like to start basically taking out every single screw that I see and trying to figure out how that screw works to hold together the compartment as a whole. Super flimsy plastic screws. Oh, okay. One piece down. I'm gonna try and tackle these bolts here to see if I can figure out if they hold the larger piece up or not. We'll see.
Mommy, I'll help you.
Let's see.
This is a sucker wrench.
Yeah, I gotta find just the right measurement. There's only one of these super long screws per section, so I want to be kind of careful as I'm moving this. I think probably the pieces are going to be ready to fall more now with that big screw removed. You see the space there? That definitely is removed, so I got to be very careful. I think I should probably take these screws out next so that a piece at a time will come out.
Yeah.
We'll see. Oh, there's another screw. Okay, well, nothing fell out. Yeah, there's another screw behind this panel. How many of these big screws have you taken out now?
3.
Okay. I mean, they definitely are the main component holding this all up.
I think they're possibly drilled into the sidewall too.
Yeah.
I'm tall enough to see that there's actually screws all along the side here.
Oh, that's fun. The guy that we bought this bus from has done an Eagle bus conversion himself, and he said that it would take magic for us to be able to get these down. Not a great sign. We don't actually have a service manual. We may have to get one before we can complete this task because we just don't know what we're doing. These screws
are coming out.
Okay, there you go. Just two people hanging out in a bathroom, disassembling a bus.
Maybe these come out.
Okay, let's try. We've made some progress! Okay, so after unscrewing these screws that were in the bathroom, it looks like this puppy is basically ready to come down. We're still gonna need to get all the TVs off of this side before we let it drop, I think, probably. Maybe? No? You want to try and pull it?
Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna take out the bolts.
These are worth anything.
Well, yeah, it's true. No, it's not like we're gonna try and resell them or anything, but yeah, so, or reuse them. We're gonna take the big bolts off of every one of these sections that we have, and hopefully the whole thing will just start to come down as one big unit that we will then figure out what to do with. We've got 3 more, and there's a good chance that this whole panel will fall, and all of the little screws that I took out will kind of be a little bit meaningless. Actually, totally meaningless, so we'll see.
By the way, I have no clue what this is. No, because you look underneath.
Yeah, it doesn't go to anything.
Yeah, I don't know if there's something in there or whatever, but I'm pretty sure that this is still being held up by screws.
Okay, but they're
into
gonna
the
break.
wall.
Okay.
Well, this is a problem though. I tried to pull them out and they're not coming out.
Yeah.
So we might have to drill them all out.
Well, let's just see what happens when we take out these big screws.
Yeah, I'm sure the weight alone is going to be bending those. They're probably pulling them out.
We'll see.
Alright, time to support.
There are a bunch of Phillips head screws still holding these bins into the sidewall. We're gonna try to remove them because I'm kind of afraid of what's gonna happen if we just let this thing fall under its own weight. I don't know. It probably could. Okay. No, these are fine. Love you. Love you, okay? You're doing awesome. I love you. Look at that face. Look at that face.
I'm really happy.
You're really happy. Well, that's good.
Mommy, can
I'm a
I
little bit
get an
frustrated
apple?
because this bus is so difficult to tear down. The next step is trying to get the screws out of the wall, and we really haven't had any luck with it. One of the screws inside this bin we have been able to successfully remove, so some of them will come out, but it may have been kind of a bad thing that we took out the big long bolts that go to the ceiling before trying to take these wall ones out, because now there's definitely tension on these screws, making it even harder to try to get them out. So that's an example of one of the screws that we have been able to take out. This one we tried to drill, and then this one we haven't tried it all yet, so let's see. My head is kind of wedged inside the bin at this point, but I'm honestly thankful that I'm able to get in here at all, and I'm really hoping I'll be able to get these screws out. I got one of them out. I'm holding up the bin with my head. This one in the middle is more difficult. Whoa. Okay. You might want to get out. I don't think it's going to hold up very much longer. Those wires are like the only thing holding it up.
Oh, there's wires.
Yeah, right there.
Do we have scissors or a knife?
We have wire cutters. Mom! Mom to the rescue! Whoa! It's like falling. Whoa. Oh, the windows. If we had taken out the screws that mounted the bins to the wall first, this would have been a whole separate issue. So if you're doing this, learn from our mistake. I mean, that thing is just hanging on. Baby, I don't want you to get hit by this. We're gonna try and take down a couple more of these screws that are on the insides of the bins, and then hopefully this thing will fall gently without causing a lot of damage. Step back and see what happens. Whoa! I almost want to get out of here. Do we need to get... I want to get out of here. Makes me nervous. So Mom had some wood and we are using it to basically prop up the bins. They're so close to falling and I have no idea what's going to happen when they fall, but it's not a good situation. As far as I'm concerned. Oh my gosh. Okay. So here it is. There's the whole thing down. That is the roof behind where the bins were. Holy heck, like it looks beautiful. Unbelievable. That's where the screws went in.
We're still gonna pull it down. Yeah, we're still gonna pull it down and put in new everything, you know. So we're gonna...
Oh my gosh. Wow. Okay. So we're gonna leave this in here. Maybe we'll be able to figure out how to take apart the sections, but we are done for today. Yesterday, Aaron and I took out the bins that were on the left side of the bus. There they are, still laying in the bus. And now today, I'm gonna try to take apart some of these sections so that we can move this out of the bus, pack it into storage, and then use this information to help us take apart the sections that are still at the top here on the right in a better way so that we don't end up with this problem of the ceiling all collapsing in one single unit at one time. Okay, so the reason that these bins won't easily separate is because the nut on the other side of the screw that's just spinning here is actually in the space between these two bin sections, and there's no way to easily reach it to stop that nut from spinning every time I turn the screw. I really think I'm probably gonna end up breaking the plastic just to get to the inside because this is crazy. Okay. I really don't want to tear all of these apart. Our hope is to reconstruct bins made out of wood that are essentially stylized to be an exact replica of these retro bins. But we can't do that if we break all of the bins apart just to get them out of the bus. These are the screws that we're trying to undo on either side, and then there's a nut there that's gonna have to be undone as well. Can you see that nut down in there? This nut right here is the one that I have to try to get off in order to remove this screw. And I'm hoping that that's the screw that I have to really get out in order to separate these sections. It's definitely the place that I want to start. Okay, there it is. So I ended up just basically stepping on this and then kicking at the doors a couple of good times in order to try and separate it. And still, there's one piece of metal that is still connecting these bins. And yes, white was a terrible color to wear for this. Oh. Oh! Okay. separate them. Okay. Yeah, buddy. Okay. There we go. One bit is detached. And definitely I couldn't do this with the ones on the ceiling, so I'm hoping that there's a better way to do this so that we can actually remove those up there in sections. Trying to remove this whole piece was awful and I don't want to do it again. Okay. I think this is the best we're going to be able to do for a unit that's intact. I didn't have to break the door on this, so you can see this is essentially the bin with a working door mechanism. I'm not going to try to deal with it, but I'm going to set this one aside, and I'm hoping we'll be able to use this for the model when it comes to recreating these bins out of wood. Oh, crap. Well, I just broke the end. Great. Cord next to you? Look, see that cord? Hold it, the big one, the big fat one. Yes, that cord runs all the way through the bins, and it's what's holding the bins to the roof. Look, do you see that? Do you see the roof that's being held up by that cord? We're going to remove the panels in front of that cord so that we can pull the cord through, hopefully. It is now 5 o'clock on a Sunday, and Aaron and I basically have a deal that if I cannot get these bins disconnected and at least ready to get out of the bus by the end of the day today, by the time the sun goes down, by the time the weekend is over, then he's gonna come in with a saw of some sort and literally just cut this up so that we can get it out of the bus and get working on the second side. Fortunately, the cables that run underneath each of these bins, kind of connecting them together, the wires you can actually disconnect on either end, so I don't have to pull this big long wire through all of the sections before I can take them apart. I can actually start stepping on the sections in the vulnerable parts so that they will break, and then I can disconnect the cords, and I should be able to break the bins down into pieces that are a reasonable size and move them out of the bus to throw them away.
How'd you figure it out?
I used a hammer and my foot.
You just broke it?
Yeah, you can watch the video along with everyone else. But yeah, I basically had to muscle it apart, and the pieces, I had to cut those wires. That was seriously intense, to be honest with you.
This is all the lights, the dome lights.
What are those wires to?
Dome lights.
Okay, yeah, I'm glad I cut them. I kind of had to. It was the only way to get it down.
Also, it's probably power and whatever wire to air conditioning as well. I don't know.
Yeah, I really had to cut it. There was kind of no other way.
No. That's fine. All the stuff's coming out.
Here is the pile of what was the overhead bins on the left side of the bus. We essentially have the one bin up there in the front that we can use as a template if we want to try to recreate these, because I do love the look of them, but oh my gosh, you just can't get them apart in a section that makes it usable.
Yep.
Now we're gonna have to take down this side, and I wish that I had better news than the fact that there's not really a simple way to take these down.
No.
They don't come apart. I seriously had to put all of my weight into ripping them apart.
Hey, it is what it is. You did the right thing.
Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, this is room now, guys.
It looks so great. It looks so great. Look at all the headroom. Woo!
For me, I'm 6 foot now.
Yeah,
That's the best part about these types of buses.
Yeah.
This has insulation and a lot of other room that we're also going to clear out and put some better insulation in there. But I mean, this is essentially the kind of headroom we'll probably have when we're done.
Yeah, all the way to the edge. You can literally stand by the window. It's fantastic.
6 foot.
I love it. Yeah.
So yeah.
It was a good decision to take out the bins.
That means
definitely.
this is about the area we're going to be walking around our bed. So this is perfectly fine to walk around. Yeah. Yeah, unless you're like super tall, it's not going to be an issue.
Yeah, that's good stuff. So one side done, and hopefully the other side will go much, much, much smoother. We are back at working on the bus today. After the last video ended, I went ahead and took apart the panels that were hiding the cables joining each section. So all of those cables have been removed now. It is going to be very important that we get out all of the screws before we take out the bolts that we discovered are actually the anchoring pieces that hold these bins to the ceiling. With any luck, this side will come out much smoother than the other side, and then we'll be able to break apart the bins and clean it out today. We still have a handful of these screws to remove, and because we didn't know about these screws when we started unbolting them, you can see that some of the bins are actually hanging down from the ceiling now because the bolts were taken out, and we just didn't realize that these screws needed to come out first. So I have like 7 of these left, I think, and I may need Aaron to help me actually prop those bins back up so that there's less tension, so I can get the screws out, and then we'll move on to the rest of the bolts. So hot in these bins. It's like 1,000 degrees and you can't see what you're doing.
I don't know,
but I gotta try because we have to try to get these out. We now have 3 screws that have been stripped and we're just struggling to try to get them out. I'm kind of not in a great mood right now. While Aaron is drilling out these strip screws in the front, I'm going to try to take the bolts down from the back and see if this thing will gradually detach from the ceiling easily. there's that screw, damn it. Here, look, give me a drill. Can you try and get it?
Oh, that might be.
Oh my gosh, there's a screw. Can you? Let me try and get it. Oh, how did I miss it?
No. Well, this will come down when everything goes down.
Whoa.
Doesn't look like anything's holding it.
Try pulling.
Yeah, well. All right. Watch out.
I'm watching it. Okay, that's awesome. That's way better than last time. I'll take it. High five. Oh look! It's a broken armrest. Okay. Let's start taking this crap apart. Go
Like 2 or 3
I'm
left
very
rest of
happy
it.
about this.
Oh, don't get blood on your shirt.
Where's my tools?
I see how it is.
This time I'm just going to use a hammer. Accident this week. Everybody's okay, but our vehicle was taken to the salvage yard yesterday. It's going to be a week or so before we hear back whether they're totaling it, what's happening. So right now we can't move this junk to the dump. We would normally do that. So it's going to have to sit in here. We're going to go ahead and end the video. And then the next time we see you, we'll be taking out the toilet. So yeah, hopefully you guys found this information to be helpful. If you enjoyed the video, give us a thumbs up. You can subscribe to the channel, ring the bell for notifications, and then you'll be alerted the next time we have a video ready. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.
Bye. Hola, ¿cómo está?
Apparently, Isaac said we all fucking ran out.
What do you guys think?
See, I gotta get these wires to go all the way through.
I got it, Mommy!
Good job!